5 o'clock on this Saturday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us. I'm Leanne Danier.
A Brownington family without their home today after it exploded. Thankfully, nobody was home at the time, but take a look at the damage. We have some photos we want to show you. What a mess. Police say that 9 people have been confirmed dead. The shooter also confirmed dead. Here's what we know so far. Officials say that the shooting started about 1 o'clock in the morning in an area called the Oregon District.
We wanted to better understand the risks that our road workers are taking every time they head into work. Here at the International Sailing Center in Colchester, countless kids have passed through these doors, taking classes and learning to love sailing.
Welcome to the weekend. You made it. You earned it. I'm Leanne Danier. Thanks so much for starting your day with us. Meteorologist Eric Weglar is here too. Why are you laughing at me?
Hey, welcome back. 7:10 in Burlington. Quite the sight as a tradition returned to downtown. Washington, D.C. wanted to be able to give you a live look of everything that's going on here today. So I'm going to put the phone down and let you all see this wonderful ceremony.
Cool idea, right?
Yeah, I think it seems like a great idea.
Wouldn't work for my mother, though. She has a flip phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
That was, yikes is right.
Live, local, late breaking.
In Vermont, a big change coming in who can purchase and possess tobacco products. More on the new law that's taking effect. The governor of New York facing criticism today. More on how opponents think his new plan shouldn't give him license to charge New Yorkers. The next step for a closed ski resort may no longer be frozen. We'll tell you more about the fate of the Vermont spot.
NBC 5 News Today starts now.
Hey, good morning to you. 7 o'clock on this Sunday morning. We're taking a live look outside. That's the sun up in the sky in South Burlington. Good morning to you. Grab your coffee. We got lots coming for you. I'm Leanne Danier. Our friend Brian Warren is in today. And gosh, the last couple of days have been really nice. And today also going to be pretty nice.
Yeah, going to be a nice day today. More on what's ahead coming up.
A Brownington family without their home today after it exploded. Thankfully, nobody was home at the time, but take a look at the damage. We have some photos we want to show you. What a mess. Fire crews responded to Chapdelaine Road about 7 o'clock Friday night. There were multiple grill-sized gas tanks in the basement of that house. Investigators believe that the blast was caused by a leak and then a spark from an electric water pump. Police say this explosion was an accident. Now the Vermont Red Cross is helping get that family of 5 back on their feet. This morning, a man is in jail after police caught him with drugs and a handgun. Vermont State Police and a number of other units were executing a search warrant in Barrie when they found Anthony Figueroa with what they believe was 5 grams of cocaine and a 9mm handgun. The 24-year-old was not allowed to have a firearm at the time due to a previous conviction. He's being held on $50,000 cash bail. A traffic control worker has died after being struck by a car in a construction zone. Vermont State Police saying that the woman who hit him was impaired at the time. Jennifer Bergevin was traveling on Route 17 in New Haven Junction Friday morning when she ran into the flagger working in the construction zone. James Alger had to be airlifted to UVM Medical Center for internal injuries, where Vermont State Police did confirm that he died overnight. The woman is now facing charges for driving under the influence of drugs and gross negligent operation. Vermont State Police are also on the lookout for a driver after troopers tried to pull over a car. Say they wound up in a high-speed chase. Happened last night in Linden. About 11:30, troopers tried to pull over a black Chevy Impala for a traffic violation. But when they tried to stop the car, just took off. The pursuit lasted some 26 miles, top speeds of 100 miles an hour. Police say they actually had to stop it because it just got to be too dangerous. So if you know anything about the operator, police really want to hear from you. Right now, Vermont State Police are looking for a man they say was involved in a road rage incident. Police say it happened last week on U.S. Route 5 at the Putney-Westminster Town line. VSP sent us this picture. They say the man was driving a 4-door white sedan. A little blurry, but you can still make him out. If you know anything about it, officers want to hear from you. New this morning, Vermont State Police say they need your help finding whoever vandalized the Woodbury post office. Happened yesterday, and whoever did it spread the contents of a recycling container plus mailing and shipping supplies all over the floor of the lobby. Made quite a mess. Police do believe it happened after the Woodbury Old Home Days celebration, sometime between 3 o'clock in the afternoon, possibly up until 6 o'clock that evening. So if you saw what happened, give police a call. New this morning, Republican lawmakers in New York are not pleased about Governor Andrew Cuomo's plan to charge drivers for new license plates. The governor recently announced a public vote to pick a new plate design. The plan is to charge motorists $25 to replace their older plates. Republicans and some Democrats are actually calling it a cash grab. Cuomo's administration defending the move, saying it's hard for police and traffic cameras to read the old plates. Also in New York State, 3 new laws protecting child victims and child witnesses. One allows domestic violence victims to sue their abusers for damages if they don't follow orders of protection. Another extends victim compensation to child witnesses who suffer trauma from what they saw. And the last give benefits to victims caught on hidden cameras meant to catch intimate photos of people without their knowledge. Cuomo signs the bills into law this week. Suicide rates in the United States climbing at a startling rate, leaving leaders in Washington trying to find new ways to curb the growing crisis. 47,000 people died from suicide in 2017, 1.4 million attempted suicide. Matt Pritchard reports on how leaders hope a new hotline can help.
For those who are struggling, you are not alone on this issue.
That was Matt Pritchard reporting. And just so you know how widely used that current lifeline is already, in 2018, counselors answered more than 2.2 million calls and over 100,000 online chats. And another reminder, if you or someone you know needs someone to talk to, the National Suicide Prevention Hotline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have the number there on your screen.
And here coming up.
Also coming up, a new rule taking effect in Vermont, and it's making some people's ability to buy cigarettes go up in smoke.
NBC 5 News at 5 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Colleran.
And I'm Leanne Denyer. A Vermont man who has yet to serve any jail time arrested again.
Max Mish has been making headlines for more than a year now. First in August of 2018.
Plattsburgh Mayor Colin Reed holding a news conference this morning to discuss big plans for his 2020 budget proposal. NBC 5's Josh Mitchell was there, and he has more with what the mayor had to say. Hi, Josh. Town leaders in Essex, Vermont are thinking about making changes to its gun ordinances. This comes 11 years after a stray bullet killed a retired St. Michael's College professor. It was fired from a nearby backyard shooting range. A select board meeting is scheduled for tonight to discuss shooting ranges. The meeting will be at Essex High School at 7:45. NBC 5 will have a full report coming up tonight at 10 and 11. New Hampshire Fish and Game officials stressing the importance of seat belts and helmets after a teenager was hurt in a UTV crash yesterday. Fish and Game says the 14-year-old lost control while driving in Pittsburgh and then got trapped by that vehicle. The passenger, another 14-year-old, was able to get out and call for help. The driver was taken to the hospital by helicopter. Police have not said how serious the injuries are. Investigators do believe speed was a factor. All right, a little bit sticky out there today as yesterday's humidity carried over into today. We're taking a live look right now. That's Mirror Lake in Lake Placid. Let's check in now with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Tom Mester. And yeah, I mean, the humidity was there, Tom, but it wasn't that bad.
Well, no, I mean, but it was kind of sticky last night. I got to tell you, in my
Yes.
house, it was super noticeable, no doubt about that.
All right, lots of folks starting to think about going back to school, and education officials in Vermont are thinking about making another interstate school district. This would be for high schoolers in northeastern Vermont and northern New Hampshire. One option being considered does involve students in Canaan, Vermont, as well as Colebrook and Stewartstown, New Hampshire. Those districts currently face issues like declining enrollment, tax pressures, as well as building and programming needs. Starting today, an opportunity for New Yorkers to pick the new state license plate. It's all part of Governor Cuomo's new 10-year license plate replacement program. A statewide survey launched today on the governor's website with 5 new options. The winning design will be available for drivers starting up in April of 2020. Voting runs through Monday, September 2nd.
Meanwhile, Oklahoma is the first state in the country doing a public rollout of a digital driver's license.
This seems like a pretty good idea, I think. So it's dubbed Mobile ID, and the app would replace your traditional plastic card, enabling people to pull out their phone instead of a physical license.
Reporter Chase Horn has the story.
For the public launch in October.
Cool idea, right?
Yeah, I think it seems like a great idea.
Wouldn't work for my mother, though. She has a flip phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
That was yikes is right. That was Chase Horn reporting.
And right now, the app and service are free for a year, and then it costs less than $5.
She likes the flip phone. What can I say?
Can you blame her?
Still ahead at 5. One woman struggling with stomach paralysis, sharing her treatment story.
I'm like, hey, this is it. They're going to get me. And they just take off the other direction.
Oh, and a hiker lost in the Montana wilderness for days. How he says he made it out alive. With kids on the go this summer,
Burger, here you go, a burger for you.
Julie Davis hopes they know they can still stop by and see her for lunch.
Hot dog, here you go. There's ketchup, mustard, and there's milk in that cooler.
And lunch is free.
It sounds amazing.
Davis is a member of Burlington School District's food services team. Typically, you'd find her at Flynn Elementary, but this summer, you'll find her and her teammates at sites across the Burlington area, serving up free lunches to kids who stop by.
They don't have to live in Burlington, nor do they have to meet any eligibility requirements. This meal program is designed to eliminate as many barriers as we can to make sure that kids feel comfortable accessing these meals every day.
And the kids are out and about, and what more could you ask for? A nice, fresh cooked meal.
You'll find Davis making meals at the A-Dog skate park.
I was like, yes! Because I really, really, really wanted food.
Because from all that skateboarding.
Federal money covers the cost of the lunches. While the district has guidelines to follow, the kids just have to be under the age of 18.
The hardest thing about summer meals is that we have to bring the food to the children, whereas during the school year, the children come to the food. So we do have to be really strategic about where we place the sites to make sure that we are going to have as many kids come as possible.
Meals are scheduled through mid-August, then it's back to class for these kiddos.
It's all about the kids, it's all about the kids. The next generation is everything.
In Burlington,
Thank you very, very much.
Leanne Denyer, NBC5 News.
Governor Scott, he failed. He failed the Vermont people.
Rob and Alyssa Black's 23-year-old son, Andrew, loved the state of Vermont.
The only thing that would have saved Andrew Black was just a little more time.
They say their son ran out of time, in crisis and in possession of a gun he had purchased that morning. In December 2018, Andrew took his own life.
The 24 hours would have saved our son. That's all he needed was 24 hours.
As they grieve his death, the couple has dedicated themselves to fighting for a waiting period, time between buying and receiving a firearm. The measure passed in the House and the Senate, but after 6 days on the governor's desk, Governor Phil Scott vetoed the bill.
To me, Governor Scott's a coward. The decision he made was a cowardly decision, and he's going to have to live with that.
In a letter to the Senate explaining his decision, Scott cites already implemented gun safety reforms and calls for increased access to mental health assistance, combating addiction, and providing more financial opportunities for Vermonters.
My son was not mentally ill. My son was not a drug addict. My son had a terrific job.
Rob and Alyssa believe had their son had more time, he would have made a different decision. The governor says the legislation doesn't combat the underlying issues.
I truly feel he made a very cowardly decision.
The veto, devastating, and even more reason, they say, to keep pushing for change.
And the last thing either one of us ever want is for somebody to have to stand outside their house on a cold December night and have a detective walk up and say, "We found a deceased male in an upstairs bedroom. Your son."